there. They only missed the first minute of it. And here we are. So we're catching up because I was slightly behind. And Slam winning game 1. And he's up against Melkor again. Slam choosing the Burmese for game 2. Melkor choosing the Malay. Now, in this situation, I think that Melkor could really do a lot. We saw how aggressive he was in game 1. He did have decent success with it, but when it really came down to it, his unique unit or his style with his civilization just simply did not work versus what Slam had. Slam obviously had probably done a better job in the feudal age, but anyhow, I think in this situation, the Malay, because they have the very fast up times, it can be very aggressive, and because they're an arbalest civilization, I think we could see them having success versus a player like Slam playing as the Burmese, when the Arambai that the Burmese love only have 5 range. So this is a pause. Nothing I can do about this one. We just caught up to a pause, but it gives us time to catch up with the cast, so no big deal. To the right, we have the gold for Slam. He has his main stone there as well, so in the same spot. Wood kind of surrounding his town center. He has 4 different options. Some of them aren't the best. The problem, again, will be for Slam. It is very open. And his secondary gold's forward. And just kind of surveying the map. He does have another gold back there, I guess, in the stone. But the openness of the map will affect both players. You look at... Oh, did Slam call a re? Probably called a re. Yeah, so Slam called a re. So what that means is he has used one of his restarts, which players normally do if they have a bad map or a bad start. So forget all about that, and we're going to see game 2 again. Oh, okay, now things are updating. So the Skew, Tarzan, Tip Boy, Chakerath, AoE Snack Bar, is it L Hobo or I think it's either capital I Hobo or L Hobo. Thank you guys for the subscriptions to the stream. Okay, so 90 seconds till the game happens then. Yep, Cesny, Slam used one of his rehosts or restarts. To be honest, I still am not a fan of calling rees that early. Maybe Slam thinks, okay, if I win game 2, I should be good. But there's no saying that his map won't be just as bad this time. This tournament has had a lot of bad maps. So I've seen, I think it was Fire vs. Valise, where both players called a rehost very early. This isn't quite as early, but it always makes me think about the possibilities in the future. Alright, so here we are once again. This is game 2 between Slam and Melkor. In the blue is Slam. Slam playing as the Burmese. The civs are the same after the restart. Melkor as the Malay. So, is Slam's map better this time for him? I mean, it doesn't have the hill, but look at that. I don't think this is a much better map for Slam. He has his main gold on the left and a gold in the back, but all of his wood's on the left and his stone is forward. So, I don't know if this is a lot better than what Slam had last time, but obviously he was not comfortable with it, which is why he went for the restart. And now you look at Melkor, and Melkor's base also very open, the stone's in the same spot. He definitely has more hills on his map, but wood on the back for him and wood forward. A main goal just above that TC. So a couple things I noticed right off the bat. This gold here is Melkor's second or third gold, one of his extras. This, I believe, yeah, this is one of Slam's extras. So this is very similar to game 1, where mid-Castle Age, these areas are going to be fought over. And there's a hill here. And a small choke point here, too. So it's going to be interesting to watch that. Another beneficial thing for Slam, we saw him searching for the neutral golds last time, and he ended up finding some extras. This is a neutral gold right in Slam's corner. The other one is out here, and that's also a little bit closer to Slam. So I'd say it's a little bit more important for Melkor to be aggressive so he can make sure he gets these golds. Someone says sheep are super lameable as well. Both these guys are not really known for laming. I haven't even need to talk about that. They're safer players, I guess, because laming is a risk. When you send your scout forward, you could always lose it, or simply just not find your own resources. You know, Slam loves to lure his deer. He's doing that right now. Melkor loves to lure his deer. So we're going to have a no-lame series by the looks of it. So a 4 on wood start for Slam. Burmese get +1 attack on their man-at-arms. So that's not really uncommon to see the +1 attack come into play with the form of man-at-arms in the feudal age. He's found his sheep. And then, of course, the big talking point with the Malay civilization is they advance to the next age 80% faster. Which is another good trushing opportunity for Melkor. Last time Slam had safe stone, Melkor hasn't scouted it, but this time it won't be that safe for Slam. It depends how greedy they want to be with luring their deer, because both players have not scouted their opponents yet. So, if Melkor was playing versus anybody else, he probably would have found his sheep before he went for the deer lure.
Hey man, been watching your stream and YouTube vids since 2015. Keep up the GR8 work and congrats on becoming a full-time caster. Wololo T90 woo.
Snack Bar, thank you, man. Thank you for the sub, and thank you for the $5. If you've been watching since 2015, you've been watching since before I had 1,000 YouTube subs. So that's a long time, man. I appreciate the kind words there. It means a lot. Yes, what I was saying was, if Melkor was playing versus anyone else, he wouldn't have waited to get those sheep. I think he would have lured the deer after he found his sheep. But both players working on their economy first and not being aggressive. It's gonna kind of equal out because both players play the same style in that area. But I think at this stage, 7 minutes and still luring that last deer, is it really worth it if you're Melkor? Especially when you're going to advance to feudal so fast. You don't even know where your opponent is yet. It's always questionable. It's not good or bad at this stage, but there's potential to be very bad because he hasn't even looked. Slam has just trotted by and he knows where Melkor is. Now this is Melkor's scouting, and Lucas, this is Slam's scouting. Also, the benefit of Slam's civilization is because you can see the relics on the map. He can assume where his player's TC is going to be. And the relics are evenly distributed on the left and the right side, so it wasn't a hard guess, I'm sure. Slam on the way up. He is going for his man-at-arms build. And what Melkor has chosen to do is actually a very wise decision. I stressed how, well, it was earlier in the stream, I guess. I stressed how, though the Malay can advance faster, it's often very difficult for them to do anything because they have less economy then. They've had less time to collect those resources. So here, he's just compensated, and he's gone up with 2 extra villagers, and he's going to do a normal build. So I say normal build, and if he's going man-at-arms, he's going very late to gold. But he's blind. He doesn't know what Slam is doing. He actually missed the militia. This is the first time he's seen Slam's base. I think that right there is a big mistake from Melkor. He doesn't know where his resources are. You need a lot of intel to know what you want to do, and he does not have that. While Slam, he's had his scout luring around, and he sees that there's a palisade there and that the mining camp's a pretty mining camp. It keeps his villagers safe. And so he's going to go to the wood. And wow, a late barracks as well for Melkor. Yeah, Melkor, for this level, is playing very bad. He's in the feudal age already, and he's not building anything for military. And let's see what Melkor can do. What Slam wants to do is waste time so he can get his man-at-arms in here. So far, he's not going to find a Vil pick, and he's not going to get his man-at-arms. Man-at-arms are going to be still trapped outside, but still the harassment was there. An archery range for Melkor. Very questionable rate at which these buildings have been placed, because now Slam is adding his own archers, and he'll go archers and skirms. Not to mention that Slam is currently forcing a repair. I think Melkor has started this game so poorly, guys. Not over for him at all. He still has the Vil lead because of the advancing times, but it's just very peculiar to me. This is a very defensive style. It is not an offensive style at all. Actually brought his scout back home. And oh, those were his sheep earlier, and he didn't even see them. See, I didn't even know he didn't have his sheep because of the deer. And not a huge talking point right now. Well, the man-at-arms can still be used. If you're in Slam's position, you probably want to still do damage with them. Maybe catch some more villagers running out to gold. Pull the weak man-at-arm away that he's firing after, and then send the strong ones in and try and surprise him. But over come the skirmishers, and what Slam's going to do is he's going to keep his man-at-arms alive. And then the skirmishers will arrive right after the archers, and what are you going to do about this, Melkor? You're going to have to add your own skirmishers, but you're going to have to run away from the gold, more importantly, because there's no way those villagers would have been able to last there. A perfect start from Slam. So, Slam, not yet building the blacksmith. There's the blacksmith for Melkor. Both are going to want to go for fletching. Oh yeah, Slam is building the blacksmith. Slam might even be first to click fletching, believe it or not. Slam has a small hill and he's attacking the archers. Now if he kills the archers, if there's not a lot of archers in this army, then his man-at-arms can still play a part. Oh, this is so dicey, man. This is not good for Melkor because these are his wood villagers here. It's actually a weak villager. Did Slam spot that with the skirms? I don't think he did. But he could have killed her if he saw her. Both players completing fletching now. The downside for Slam is he can't get reinforcements to this army. This is where Melkor wants to take the fight. So far, pretty good for him. Using the scout. The scout's still on stand ground, which is the default stance when you start the game. He could have applied a couple more hits to those skirmishers that he did not apply. But this will be cleaned up eventually, I assume. But much better trade for Slam. And still using the man-at-arm to distract. He's killed all the archers there. So all those gold units doing nothing for Melkor. Well, Slam is still 5 villagers behind. But Melkor, you know, you can tell he's struggling. He has the idols. He's not in his gold. And normal eco flow just isn't there for him. Slam, it's a lot more comfortable. Slam still needs to be very careful because if Melkor has a messy economy and still clicks castle first, he's going to get there faster and he could pack a punch. And that's always the danger when you're playing versus melee. Now, look at the HP on these skirmishers. Not very good. The wolf's not going to help that. Oh, is he going after the weak one? Kill the weak one. This one. Kill it. Ah! Which one's he going after? I don't know. But we should probably focus on the army. This goes to show you how bad it is for Melkor. He continues to lose map control. He continues to lose control over his gold. Unfortunately, that wolf was not going after the 1 HP skirmisher for us. Let's see here. Nope, skirmisher down. Armor for Slam, armor for Melkor. And great micro right now. The good thing about Slam is he's not close to his archery ranges, so Melkor should be able to get more numbers, but though the KD is very close, Slam has been taking the better engagements with the ranged units. Both players are going to need to micro, but if you're Slam, you've got to be very confident with your current map control, map position, keeping your opponent off that gold. He's got to be hesitant. He doesn't want to add archers in, because Yeah, it's always the first thing you'll go for. But yeah, Slam seeing the weak ones every single time. One-shotting there. One-shotting here as well. I'm going to kill another one. And just look at that KD change. It was 8-8 a moment ago. Now it's 19 to, well, 20 to 12 as they continue to trade. Slam taking a huge military lead now. Okay, much better trades there from Melkor because he's able to mass a few more skirms. But here comes Slam with more. I wonder if, in this situation, top players will use this archer as a distraction. Because I see this archer is very weak, and normally you want to kill the gold units. I wonder if Slam has been intentionally moving this archer around. Like, you see that? The first thing that Melkor shot was that archer. I wonder if that archer played a part in that previous fight.
It's pronounced Britannics. Britain X. Thanks for the streams. I learned to be a better player watching.
No problem, Britain X. I like how it's the first thing out of your mouth. This is how you pronounce it. Thank you for the support again, man. It was fun talking to you last night. Glad that you could find improvement here. So I think what Slam's play is to go Arambai. He's on stone and home. We haven't looked over here much. So he's going to try and stay skirm. Go elite skirm eventually, and then go Arambai in addition. Still, it's very important that he has a good castle time. But so far, so good with this micro. Look at this. Slam on both hills. Somehow just waltzing up the hill. And now he doesn't have the numbers here. He's running away. Running in with this army. Nope. Sorry, Melkor. Debated. I'm going to send this army back in. Nope. No, that's not going to happen. I'm going to send this army back in. Look at this Slam micro. This is insane. He didn't lose any HP on this army. He's going back in for vills here. And he'll probably do the same thing again. The Slam just showing his speed to control all of these armies and his economy at the same time and click up the castle first. Britain X1 knows T90's reputation of butchering names. The sad thing, Nimino, is that he's relatively new to the stream and he already knows. He already knows. Well, also Melkor's clicked up. Now, I can't do math with the 80% faster thing. And not easy with those numbers, but Melkor should hit Castle Age before Slam. But there won't be a huge difference. There's the stable now. For Melkor, he could add a knight. He could always add the elephants. I want to go back after this and watch the VOD of Slam's micro there. That was really cool. Gotta be very annoying to play against. Slam has his own stable. Slam has the stone for a castle immediately when he hits Castle Age. Alright, there's the Castle Age for Melkor just a bit before Slam. Melkor still has more villagers. It's very deceiving, this Malay civilization, because Slam has had full control, but because they can get to Castle Age so fast, it makes up for any potential losses. Slam running away as he gets Elite Skirmisher and Bodkin Arrow. No Bodkin Arrow because Melkor is making some knights. Okay, Bodkin Arrow is on the way now. Slam needs to be careful with these skirms. The knight only has one upgrade, so I guess he could kill it, but still needs to be careful here. Skirmishers have minimum range, and knights are the perfect solution to those skirms. I don't think Slam is too worried about any of that. I think he just wants to get his Arambai out, and then he can send his skirmishers back into the fight. And still, while it was smart for Melkor to go back to this gold to start, he still doesn't have his main gold, and Slam knows that. Now let's see how that Vill count changes as both players are going to be adding town centers. The Slam still on 1, actually. The second one is probably not too far off for him. There it is. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about. The Arambai aren't here yet. An elephant and 1 knight going to be enough. Slam had his own knight, and he's microed down that knight from Melkor. Now he has 2 knights and he has full skirms. He could send the skirms away, he could send his knights in. I guess with no defense upgrades on these knights, the skirmishers still could kill it, and with the battle elephant, Slam might just want to wait for his Arambai. And every time you get an opportunity to see Slam micro, do it, because this is amazing. They're finally going to send the knights in, just waiting for his own Arambai. if he is able to micro on the same level as Melkor here, if he's able to kill as many units, just make sure he cancels out these skirmishers from Melkor. His Erembi will destroy everything. Though I will say, it wasn't the best moment there for Slam. Melkor having more numbers, and Melkor now dancing around with his skirmishers. You can see this. But here are the Erembi, and these elephants are so slow, Erembi should be able to pick them off. The good defense from Melkor, I have to say. He was adding more skirmishers, Slam was not. And new TC for Slam, the battle elephants are right next to it. So far, these battle elephants and these skirmishers from Melkor have bought him time. Melkor with a 9 villager lead. So it's almost like Slam has been forced to micro forward. It's like he's been forced to be aggressive. But so far, Melkor hasn't taken a lot of eco damage. Even though he hasn't had the map control, it's surprising that he's done so well here. Because it doesn't look convincing as a spectator, because we don't watch the villagers go to resources. We mainly watch the fights. It's important we have these overlays, so we can follow that kind of stuff. Now, what Slam can do now is really use his mobility. He couldn't do that before. Melkor just spotting that, I believe. And yep, there we go. He just got the university up to clicking ballistics, so he won't miss with these skirms. Or he won't... Yeah, that's what I meant to say. Miss with skirms. So, this is just going through my mind as I watch this pan out. Melkor has more villagers. He's not taking any big losses. Every time Slam goes to raid him, Melkor seems to have an answer. Melkor has the civilization that can get to Imp faster, and they do have the answer to these Erembi, which is the skirms and the archers. And that would force Slam into something else. And unfortunately for him, he might need to be thinking about that as well. But for now, he's going to add more Erembi, but maybe the Mangonel is the answer for Slam to kill some of these skirms. Very impressive display from Melkor. Slam just taking the score lead for a moment. You can see how close this game is. I think it just goes down to late game map control. Slam already trying to get the relics because he's the Burmese and he can see those relics. So he knows what's coming. And also, the secondary golds are in favor of Slam on the left and the right side. And this is the one area that was not house walled for Melkor. This is what the Erembi can do. Villagers running away. This is where the army is for Melkor. But the Erembi are coming in the other area, man. And you're in trouble now. One villager down. And the most important thing for Slam is that he forced villagers away from the wood and from the stone. There's 22 idols for Melkor because of a small group of Erembi. Even the knights looping around now for Slam. He just needs to hold this hill. This is already an advantage for him because he's forcing Melkor back. Now the crazy thing is Melkor's not going back. At least with his the army he already had. He's just creating more army for this. I think that's a mistake. As bad as it is, I understand the need to counterattack. I just feel like this needed to be addressed as fast as possible because Slam is in a much better position defensively with the castle and the town centers. And just look at the damage Slam is doing now. And he's about to click up to the Imperial Age too. The elephants won't do anything versus Erembi. They will go down pretty quickly. Still, that will mean that Melkor has 36 idle villagers because of that small attack. And the power of the Erembi, they are doing enough right now for Slam. We're looking for the Imperial Age upgrade. We're looking to use his Mangonels defensively, missing with the first shot. Melkor not realizing this. And Melkor going to lose half of his army of skirmishers and crossbows, while still losing villagers to Slam. Slam has taken the Vill lead now. Slam has clicked up to the Imperial Age before the Malay player, and Melkor is nowhere close. So the food count from Melkor right now just goes back to exactly what I said. You know, Melkor doesn't have the space. Melkor has had idle villagers, so he's not collecting those resources. And look at Slam micro these Erembi. It just takes one shot. He's forced to make more battle elephants, which are so expensive, and that's another point. That's another reason he might not have the food, is because they're so expensive. And Slam now has done everything he needed to do. He's clicked up to the Imperial Age first. He has raided the economy, and he hasn't taken big losses. 91 kills, 65 deaths for him. And most of his kills have been enemy army. But that Vil raid was pretty sick. So now what does Slam do? What's his plan? He's on one stable. He's going to build a second castle. His castle is kind of risky because he has nothing protecting it. But it's going to be very close to Melkor's gold, which he still hasn't taken. You know what? This is going to be brilliant timing because Melkor needs to get out there now. Look at this. He has 150 gold there. He needs to build a TC or a castle here now, and Slam's already on it. Slam also has these golds I talked about earlier. This one is Melkor's. If Melkor doesn't have this gold, I don't see how he can even stay alive. Slam just going to build another castle? Yes, he is. Melkor's going to find out about his gold problem now, and no gold remaining for him. And he sees the imp upgrade from his opponent. He sees the castle from his opponent going up. He doesn't know about this one yet. He's thinking, okay, this is a ballsy push from Slam. Only one castle, but no, it's two. Mangonel shot for the skirmishers and the archers, of course. One conversion there. Nice split from Melkor. He just wants to stop this castle. He stopped it for now, but it's so difficult for him to stay here. The elephant's not going to offer much with the Arenby around. And after that smart conversion from Slam, and there's the first treb. I mean, Slam could even go for the mining camp here. I mean, just keep him off gold, right? But now you want to go for TCs, you want to go for production buildings. And now there's a castle from Melkor. Ideally, he would have had this castle in front. Ideally, he would have stopped Slam from doing what Slam just did. In fact, he's actually pulled the castle away. He can't build it there because of the trebuchet. And he's not going to be able to stop this castle for very long with that Mangonel there. Melkor off gold. Eventually, you got to think Slam will get this castle up. And what is his plan now? He stayed in his base all game. Didn't get any map control. Slam already with the extra golds. Already with 2 relics. And this castle will go up. Slam also researching the perfect answer to this Skirm and Arb combo, and that is Onager. And I feel like Melkor will call the GG right after losing the town center and right after seeing the Onager. And yep, there's the GG. Wow. That entire game was controlled by Slam. The entire time he was in full control. He had the map control. He had in mind what he needs to do next. He was cool, calm, collected, and Melkor was responding. While Slam, he was the one forcing that response. I will say that if Melkor has anything to blame, he is to blame his god-awful start, because that was disgusting. You go up early as the Malay and you don't have a barracks yet? That's really all where it started for me. It was not a very good start, and that's what he will probably regret. He might be confident that he was able to stay in the position he was in after his bad start for Slam, but it all started with the feudal age. Alright, here's the military stats. We have 117 units killed for Slam. His micro was supreme all game. Look at that gold difference. Not a lot of difference in the other areas. Slam just in full control there. Alright, I will update the scores. I'll